Honorable Dato' Noripah Kamso, Chairman of Bank Rakyat, the Honorable Dato' Rosman Muhammad, Acting Managing Director of Bank Rakyat, Sheikh Dr. Walid Hadi, Chairman of iSHAR Roundtable 2019, Sheikh Dr. Nizam Yakubi, Scholars Representative of iSHAR Roundtable 2019, Board of Directors of Bank Rakyat, SHARIAH Committee Members, Board of Trustees of Yayasan Bank Rakyat, Management Committee, Honorable Scholars, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Welcome to Bank Rakyat's International Shariah Scholars Roundtable 2019.
Sa'adatu Datuk Noripah Kamso, Ra'isatul Bank Rakyat, Sa'adatu Datuk Rosman Muhammad, Al-Qa'imu bi'amalil aduwil muntadabi li Bank Rakyat, Fadilatul Syekh Dr. Walid Hadi, Ra'isul Ma'idatil Mustadirati li iSHAR li'am 2019, Fadilatul Syekh Dr. Nizam Yakubi, ممثلا لفضيلة العلماء الحاضرين في الندوة المباركة، مجلس إدارة لبنك رأيت، أعضاء الهيئة الشرعية، مجلس الأمناء، لجنة الإدارة، العلماء الأكارم، السيدات والسادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نرحب بكم في ملتقى علماء الشريعة الدولي لبنك رأيت لعام 2019.
Firstly, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to pull together iSHAR 2019. We would also like to extend our gratitude to Sheikh Dr. Nizam Yakubi and Sheikh Dr. Walid Hadi, who traveled afar just to be with us, to represent the scholars and head the roundtable discussion. For your information, Dr. Yakubi was also with us 2 years ago during iSHAR 2017 when we launched Studies and Recommendations of iSHAR 2015. It is with great honor that Bank Rakyat had the opportunity to publish 10 resolutions from 10 research papers which came from Dubai, Bahrain, and United Arab Emirates, just to name a few. Alhamdulillah, these resolutions are actually being used by the bank and our stakeholders. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, as an introduction to new attendees, let us watch a short video of Bank Rakyat, Malaysia.
أولاً نحمد الله رب العالمين على إعطاء هذه الفرصة لتنظيم الملتقى iSHAR لعام 2019. أيضاً نود أن نعرب عن امتناننا لفضيلة الشيخ دكتور والد هادي وفضيلة الشيخ دكتور نظام يعقوبي الذي سافر بعيداً من أجل أن يشاركنا ويكون رئيساً لمناقشة المائدة المستديرة ويكون ممثلاً لعلماء الحاضرين. ولمعلوماتكم كان معنا أيضاً فضيلة الشيخ دكتور نظام يعقوبي قبل عامين أثناء الملتقى iSHAR لعام 2017 حينما أطلقنا بحوث وتوصيات لإشار لعام 2015. إنه لشرف عظيم أن بنك رأيت قام بنشر 10 قرارات من 10 ورقات بحثية جاءت من دبي والبحرين والإمارات العربية المتحدة على سبيل المثال لا الحصر. والحمد لله قد تم استخدام هذه القرارات فعليا من قبل البنك وأصحاب المصلحة لدينا. أيها الحاضرين الكرام، السيدات والسادة، قبل أن نبدأ مقدمة للحاضرين الجدد، دعنا نشاهد فيديو قصيرا عن بنك رأيت ماليزيا.
بنك الرعية، إن الإنجازات التي تحققت اليوم على أرض الواقع ما هي إلا ثمرة لجهود متواصلة مستمرة من أسرة البنك. إن مسيرة عطاء بنك الرعية كمصرف تعاوني إسلامي أهلته لبلوغ مرتبة مميزة في الصناعة المالية الإسلامية في ماليزيا. ف63 سنة مرت من عمر البنك هي أصدق برهان على أصالته التراثية وعمله الدائب ومنجزاته المميزة. وطريق النجاح والتميز للبنك أنارتها التطلعات والقيم والرؤى التي أساسها القوة الدافعة لأسرة البنك، وهي خير هاد في خطواتنا المستقبلية. إن بنك الرعية لا هو الاختيار الأمثل لعملائه فخدماته المصرفية هي الأجود مقارنة مع المؤسسات المالية المشابهة، والخدمات التي يقدمها بنك الرعية لعملائه متكاملة وشاملة، فلا داعي للجوء إلى مصارف أخرى، فبنك الرعية يلبي جميع خدماتك وهو خيارك الأمثل. لقد حقق البنك على امتداد تاريخه عددا من المعالم والإنجازات التنموية، وقد أكسبتنا التجارب المتحصلة على امتداد تاريخ البنك الحكمة وبعد النظر، ولكنها لا تمنعنا من اتخاذ خطوات شجاعة للتقدم إلى الأمام. وإن شهادات التقدير التي حاز عليها البنك من ماليزيا وخارجها لهي دليل واضح على ريادتنا وتميزنا، وأننا لسنا فقط بأحد المشاركين العاديين في الصناعة المالية. وقد انطلقت مسيرة البنك كأحد رواد الحركة التعاونية، ولم يكن المؤسسون والمديرون الأوائل خبراء في الصناعة المالية، ولكن كانت تقودهم رؤية تحقيق قدر أكبر من العدل الاجتماعي للمجتمعات الريفية من خلال العمل التعاوني. وما زلنا نحمل هذه الرؤية النبيلة، ونشعر بالفخر بأننا في بنك الرعية استطعنا خدمة العديدين، وحققنا لكثير من الماليزيين تطلعاتهم واحتياجاتهم ورغباتهم من خلال المنتجات والخدمات التي نقدمها. ولا تغيب عنا أبدا واجباتنا الاجتماعية ومسؤولياتنا التعاونية، ونحن ملتزمون برفع سوية ومكانة القطاع التعليمي في ماليزيا، والنهوض بالمستوى الاقتصادي والاجتماعي للماليزيين، والمحافظة على البيئة وتقديم العون والمساعدة لمن يحتاج إليها. ولقد حفر اسمنا وسطع بوضوح في مسيرة الصناعة المالية في ماليزيا بريادتنا وتميزنا في تنمية القطاع التعاوني للمصارف الإسلامية، وقد كان ذلك عاملا مهما في إبرازنا كمصرف إسلامي تعاوني، وكمصرف يشكل الخيار الأفضل للماليزيين. ومن هنا كان شعارنا: بنك الرعية هو خيارك الأمثل.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we would like to invite Sheikh Dr. Nizam Yakubi to deliver his introductory speech.
الهادرين الكرام السيدات والسادة، بدون أي تأخير ندعو فضيلة الشيخ دكتور نظام يعقوبي ليقدم لنا خطابه الاستهلالية، فليتفضل مشكورا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Honorable Datu Nuriba Kamsu, Chairman of Bank Rakyat, Honorable Dr. Sheikh Walid bin Hadi, the Chairman of Roundtable 2019, Honorable Datu Rosman Muhammad, Acting Managing Director of Bank Rakyat, and the Honorable Members of the Bank Rakyat SHARIAH Committee, distinguished scholars and esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Nahmadullah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us and guiding us, for being able to gather here today at the International Shariah Scholars Roundtable or Multaqa Ulama al-Shariah al-Dawli. It is indeed an honor for me to be here today among all these distinguished and respected scholars from all over the world, and I thank them to delegate me on their behalf to deliver this short talk. And special thanks are due also to the Honorable Datuk Nuripa Kamso, Chairman of Bank Rakyat, for the excellent support provided by her and her team in organizing this important meeting. Jazahumullahu khairan. And also accept my sincere thanks to the Honorable Sheikh Dr. Walid ibn Hadi, Chairman of Roundtable 2019, for all his efforts in making this conference successful and preparing all the research material and the discussion topics for this year. As we all know, this gathering today is the third edition of the Roundtable and a continuation from the previous Roundtable meetings in 2015 and 2017. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the health and success to continue in these efforts in many coming years, inshallah. The previous International Sharia Scholars Roundtable was attended by a number of scholars specialized in jurisprudence of the transaction, fiqh al-muamalat, and Islamic banking, and it has achieved significant impacts to the Islamic financial industry, where the resolutions issued have been a reference for practitioners, researchers, and stakeholders. During the first roundtable held in 2015, among the most important topics discussed at length was about qalb ad-dayn, or debt restructuring. And the discussions were finally published and lead to the establishment of Sharia parameters for restructuring debt in several Islamic financial institutions, and it was also helpful in drafting the AWOFI standard on the same subject. In 2017, the focus of the roundtable was on the issue of waqf, whereby scholars from different countries, from Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and other GCC countries, shared their views and their practices in managing and developing the awqaf. On the above topic, significant waqf issues were also discussed in details, especially the issue of parameters of waqf expenses, and also exchanging waqf assets in times that the exchange is needed, and so on and so forth. For this year, alhamdulillah, the topics of discussion evolve around the issues that are closely related to Bank Rakyat specifically, and to the Islamic banking community in general. We are all looking forward to the active participation and discussion during these 2 days of the roundtable, especially on the topics of rahan, and also issues on the changes in waqf condition, and also issues relating to early settlement, as well as parameters of investment agency. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Bank Rakyat again for making it possible for such a conference and for this esteemed group of scholars to be available here in these days, and to bring together much needed discussion on contemporary issues related to Islamic financial services industries. Esteemed scholars, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic finance industry has seen significant growth, and now it is estimated to have crossed the 2 trillion US dollars in assets, as it is mentioned in many estimates and statistics around the world. And the ecosystem has developed also with great success, with the emergence of the full Sharia compliant offerings such as takaful, Islamic funds, Sharia advisory firms, Sharia external and internal auditing firms, sukuk, and so on and so forth. There are many variables which have contributed to the growth of Islamic finance worldwide. Perhaps the most important is the introduction of sophisticated regulatory regimes which have slowly built the confidence of customers, leading to an increased demand for Sharia compliant financing. Although I suggest that the regulators should also look at easing certain things on these institutions, because excessive overburdening the institutions with regulations too much might hinder also the growth and development. So the regulators should be swift, but at the same time flexible. All these progress would not have been possible without the dedication of many people, including the practitioners and technical assistants and Sharia scholars, such as the distinguished scholars who are here, in their collective wisdom to resolve many practical and contemporary issues facing the Islamic financial industry. While there have been many advancements in Islamic finance, it is important to understand that issues confronting the global economy and our modern society are also linked to the issues facing the financial sector. Therefore, there is much needed demand for Islamic banks and windows constantly to address contemporary issues, pressing issues facing the Ummah and facing humanity in general, and trying to participate to the extent possible in alleviating poverty and hunger, and to promote responsible consumption and production, and to provide affordable finance for housing, healthcare, education, and other much needed sectors of the general public. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, the Sharia scholars are constantly challenged to have a thorough and sound understanding of other fields and expertise such as economics, finance, accounting, law, psychology, technology, to formulate well-rounded and very much needed, sharp and pragmatic ijtihad. With Sharia scholars at the forefront of multidisciplinary knowledge, the Sharia fraternity can play a very important and prominent role in the global call for action for the financial sector to better respond to the contemporary challenges facing our world today. A great example of this is the implementation of digital technology in Islamic finance by leveraging innovative solutions in the fintech sector and the blockchain and artificial intelligence and payment platforms. Islamic banks will be able to take the lead in the banking and financial industry. Indeed, we have seen in several institutions here and other places in the GCC and other countries that these innovative technologies are participating a lot in the development of the products. For example, in one country I have seen the finance of cars, which as you know usually takes time. The client goes and chooses the car from the agency, and then the bank must buy the car from the agency and then sell the car on murabaha to the client, and etc. Sometimes a process which might take days or weeks. But now through just an application, I have seen this process with all the required Sharia and other requirement needed, that is done in 7 minutes. So this is something, mashallah, which is very encouraging indeed. And we in the Sharia boards and in the Sharia community always encourage these innovations in technology, because it helps us eliminating lots of human error which might happen during the regular day-to-day businesses. These innovative solutions provide secure and convenient transactions with improved governance and appeal to the various stakeholders, and also with very precise and improved know your client as it is required from the regulators and other agencies. Perhaps our discussion for these 2 days, inshallah, will enable us to address some important contemporary issues faced by the Islamic financial services industry in all our countries for the better good and mutual benefit of all of the stakeholders in this fraternity. Brothers and sisters, before ending my short talk, I implore all of us to begin today's discussion with an open mind and a candid sharing of experiences that can benefit us all. It is through collaboration and collective ijtihad and cooperation. The rulings that we need today is not like before where individual rulings were important, but today in certain dire issues and widely pressing opinions is needed from the collective views like this gathering. And the cooperation that it's between these scholars from different parts of the world will impact, inshallah, the Islamic finance industry and can be realized for the betterment of the Ummah. I hope the industry will greatly benefit from this roundtable discussion, and more importantly, for us to achieve the objective that we set, which will be beneficial to the Ummah in general, inshallah. And I thank you all again in Bank Rakyat. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Sheikh Dr. Nizam Yakubi. We would like to invite Dr. Yakubi to come forward to the launch pad while we invite Dato' Noripah Kamso and Dato' Rosman Muhammad to accompany Dr. Yakubi for the launching of International Shariah Scholars Roundtable 2019, as well as to reveal 3 newly published books.
شكرا جزيلا فضيلة الشيخ دكتور نظام يعقوبي. ندعو فضيلة الشيخ إلى المنصة حين أن ندعو دكتور نريفة كمسو ودكتور رسمان محمد لمرافقة الشيخ نظام يعقوبي لإطلاق الملتقى علماء الشريعة الدولي لبنك رأيت لعام 2019، وكذلك للكشف عن 3 كتب منشورة حديثا.
Now we would like Dato' Noripah to do the honor of launching iSHAR 2019 and reveal this year's books by tapping onto the launch pad. On count to 3, 1, 2, and 3. And with that, we mark the launching of iSHAR 2019.
وبهذا نحتفل بإطلاق الملتقى إيشار لعام 2019.
Now we would like to invite 5 scholars to the stage to join for a photography session.
نود أن ندعو من العلماء إلى خشبة المسرح لجلسة التصوير. أولاً الشيخ دكتور وليد بن هادي،
Sheikh Dr. Abdul Rahman Abdullah Abdul Hamid Saad Al Saadi,
الشيخ دكتور عبد الستار أبو غدة،
Sheikh Dr. Abdul Aziz Khalifah Al Kasar,
والشيخ دكتور إسام الإنزي. تفضل.
Thank you, honorable guests and distinguished scholars. You may now be seated.
شكرا جزيلا تفضلوا بالجلوس.
A little info of this year's books. What was revealed just now were the English translation of iSHAR 2015, Studies and Recommendations, the Arabic edition of iSHAR 2017, Studies and Recommendations, as well as the English translation of iSHAR 2017, Studies and Recommendations. All of the titles published are a result of collaborative effort and strategic partnership between the International SHARIAH Research Academy for Islamic Finance and Bank Rakyat. With various translated editions, we hope that it will benefit more Shariah practitioners and financial institutions.
بعض المعلومات حول الكتب التي كشفت عنها منذ لحظة هي الترجمة الإنجليزية لبحوث وتوصيات لإشار لعام 2015، النسخة العربية لبحوث وتوصيات لإشار لعام 2017، والترجمة الإنجليزية لبحوث وتوصيات لإشار لعام 2017. جميع العناوين المنشورة هي نتيجة للجهد التعاوني والشراكة الاستراتيجية بين الأكاديمية العالمية للبحوث الشرعية في المالية الإسلامية إسرا وبنك رأيت. ومع إصدارات المترجمة المختلفة نأمل أن يفيد المزيد من الممارسين الشرعية والمؤسسات المالية.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next agenda, we would like to invite members of the media to get ready for the press conference as we welcome the Honorable Datuk Noripah Kamso to deliver her opening remarks and open the press conference.
الحاضرين الكرام السيدات والسادة، انتقالا إلى جدول الأعمال التالي نود أن ندعو أعضاء وسائل الإعلام إلى الاستعداد للمشاركة في المؤتمر الصحفي. الآن نرحب سعادة داتو نوريفا كامسو لإلقاء كلمتها الافتتاحية ثم افتتاح المؤتمر الصحفي، فليتفضل مشكورا.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone in this room. Your Honorable Sheikh Dr. Walid Hadi, Chairman of Roundtable 2019, Your Honorable Sheikh Dr. Nizam Muhammad Salih Yakubi, Scholars Representative of the Roundtable discussion, Your Honorable Dato' Rosman Muhammad, Acting Managing Director of Bank Rakyat, Board members of Bank Rakyat Shariah Committee members, honorable scholars, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the press. Can I have a hands up from the members of the press? Thank you. Alhamdulillah, praise to Allah, the beneficent and the merciful. We are grateful to Allah for His blessings, and we are able to gather today for this very special occasion at the launch of Bank Rakyat's International Sharia Scholars Roundtable 2019. This is an event I look forward to, as it is a highly interactive and constructive thought leadership forum in an area of knowledge excellence that is very dear to my heart. On behalf of Bank Rakyat's Board of Directors and Management Committee, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome and thank all of you for being here. To our international guests from across the world, ahlan wa sahlan. Selamat datang and a warm welcome to warm Malaysia. Even the climate is warm. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, Bank Rakyat is a teenager in Islamic finance. It has been 16 years since Bank Rakyat being the first development financial institution and the first cooperative bank to poke its fingers into the pie of Islamic finance. As Bank Rakyat transit into adulthood, we want to reinvent. And we want to reinvent in Islamic finance in 3 steps. Step number 1, we are looking at offering Islamic finance and beyond. And this means we are looking towards value-based, and this value-based is focused towards us meeting United Nations sustainability goals, and that would include us in support of economic and social development towards eradication of poverty, eradication of economic inequality, climate crisis, education, and the whole 17 SDGs that we have collaborated with United Nations. The second step is for Bank Rakyat to establish an identity. Bank Rakyat, in its BR25, in its 5-year plan, has consciously established an identity as the sustainable bank. And definition of the sustainable bank would include every single strategy in the bank to have an overlay of sustainability defined based on 3 Ps: people, planet, and progress, and it's in that order. The third step is integrating these Islamic values and sustainability values into Islamic finance itself. And that would be in tandem with the vision of Bank Rakyat, serving the community, the nation, and the planet. That is the vision of Bank Rakyat. The mission, as we integrate all these narratives, is to be a globally recognized catalyst for national development through a range of financial services, rooted in Islamic values, community, and sustainability. Embracing all these narratives, Bank Rakyat would be keen to offer sustainable finance. And we would want to craft this sustainable finance into a sustainable finance vision. So having crafted this sustainable finance vision into our BR25, our 5-year master plan, we would want to also integrate contemporary world problems. And it is really apt for us today to organize this International Sharia Scholars Roundtable 2019. So what is International Sharia Scholars Roundtable 2019? The International Sharia Scholars Roundtable 2019, which entered its 3rd edition, is a program organized by Bank Rakyat with its strategic partner, International Sharia Research Academy for Islamic Finance, ISRA, that gathers respective local and international scholars in Islamic finance. Inaugurated in 2015 as a thought leadership platform for international discussion on Islamic finance issues, the biennial roundtable has been effective in creating a forum for distinguished Sharia scholars, academicians, regulators, and Islamic finance practitioners in various fields, including banking and capital market, to explore solutions to the issues and challenges which impact the Islamic finance landscape. Bank Rakyat had previously organized the International Sharia Scholars Roundtable in 2015 and 2017. You actually saw in the launch, there was 3 books. One is for 2015 and one was for 2017, and the third is the Arabic version. The 4 objectives of this International Sharia Scholars Roundtable are, number 1, to profile and enhance awareness on the development of Islamic finance through discourse and discussions on topical and global contemporary issues faced by the industry. Number 2, to have series of in-depth roundtable discussion on the contemporary issues to be the journey to progress Islamic finance into sustainable finance. Number 3, to issue and publish international Sharia standards and resolutions as references to the scholars, practitioners, and interested parties. And number 4, to bring harmonization between Sharia views and the implementations globally. What is Bank Rakyat's role in this International Scholars Roundtable? Bank Rakyat's role in organizing the Sharia Roundtable once in 2 years by inviting the international and local scholars from all over the world is to discuss on contemporary world problems and issues in Islamic finance. As a leader in this space, Bank Rakyat will then issue the resolutions derived from the roundtable discussions and distribute the book to scholars, universities, Islamic financial institutions, policymakers, and all interested parties. What are the goals of Bank Rakyat in organizing this roundtable meeting? We have 3 goals. Number 1, the international forum is aligned with the bank's aspiration to be a leader in Islamic thought leadership, especially on issues of broad significance to the global development of the Islamic finance industry. Number 2, by organizing such a forum, Bank Rakyat is also able to provide strategic direction on the Islamic space for the industry and the public. And number 3, this international forum also provides further impetus for Bank Rakyat to be a leader that is able to deepen the body of knowledge and cross-border application of Islamic finance. Brothers and sisters, how many books have we been distributing? And how do they benefit the industry and the public? Almost 1,000 of the resolution book based on the discussions during the first edition of the Roundtable in 2015, which aimed at standardizing and harmonizing the Islamic banking practices, have been distributed to the Islamic banks, universities, researchers, regulators, and scholars and practitioners across the globe. Internationally, we are proud to claim that the books is referred by the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Finance Institutions, or AOFI, based in Bahrain, as a guideline in issuing Waqaf resolutions, as well as the Department of Waqaf, Zakat and Haji, or Jauhar, in Malaysia, as a reference for a comprehensive overview. As a leader in thought leadership of Islamic finance, Bank Rakyat is committed to do the same this year by launching the resolution book, based on the discussion during the second roundtable in 2017, which focused on issues related to Waqaf and the role of Islamic institutions in bettering socio-economic status for all communities worldwide. So based on a case analysis on Waqaf, if I can share a problem statement that we are facing in Malaysia. The current statistics show that Malaysia has approximately 13,400 hectares which are left idle, unproductive, and require funds for the restoration process. Underdeveloped Waqaf property in Malaysia becomes a burden to future generations as significant portions of land are untouchables since they are designated as Waqaf. Most of the Waqaf founder stipulated a condition that the Waqaf land is to build a mosque or cemetery or surau. Therefore, further development to widen the scope of Waqaf benefit is restricted. To the majority of Muslim jurists, it is not permissible to change the condition of Waqaf income and assets stipulated by the endowers based on the famous maxim on Waqaf condition. Quote unquote, the condition of the Waqaf founder is like a tax of lawgiver in understanding the connotation, and it is an obligation to act. So with this problem statement, one of the topic that is being discussed in the Sharia International Roundtable today is on the changes in Waqf condition. Is it possible? Is it not possible? Should we actually live in a situation of 13,400 hectares of idle land in this country, or should we move forward towards making it a lot more productive? Who will be involved in this year's roundtable session? And you actually met them and you saw them, and they are all in this room. More than 20 Sharia scholars and Islamic banking practitioners will participate and have participated this morning in the program, which involved not only local scholars but also from other countries such as United Arab Emirates, UAE, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Syria, Bahrain, and Jordan. What does Bank Rakyat hope to achieve from organizing this International Sharia Roundtable 2019? As part of our BR25, which is our 5-year plan, Bank Rakyat leadership in sustainability finance is demonstrated in this 2-day discussion of the International Scholars Roundtable 2019. It will address the topical issues related to the impact of sustainability towards Islamic finance globally and thoroughly. At the same time, the bank also hopes to champion the sustainability finance space by uplifting the industry and also enhancing the socio-economic development of the country. In closing, the challenge to the banking industry today, in particular Bank Rakyat, is to rethink our roles and vision in societies they serve and other solutions to governments, private sector, and non-government organizations or the NGOs, so that Bank Rakyat can become a significant catalyst for development in society. As a development financial institution, that is the mandate that is given to Bank Rakyat. We also urge the Roundtable to develop a framework of how Islamic finance integrating with sustainable finance, how these Islamic finance institutions can set the benchmark for good governance, which can then be emulated by any institutions. A framework that can address contemporary breakdowns in governance as it is in any case studies. Brothers and sisters, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, our strongest takeaway from my statement here is an action call. It's an action call on Islamic financial institutions to redefine their role in enhancing socio-economic status and socio-economic development to the society globally as well as domestically. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dato. Members of the media, you may now pose your questions.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Rina from SHARIAH. Referring to the number of 1,000 copies distributed last year, is that for a collective of first and second edition? And number two, is this the first year Bank Rakyat collaborate for the iSHAR, or can you elaborate more on that? Thank you.
You're from which media?
SHARIAH.
Oh, Sinar Harian. So the first question is, the 1,000 copies is for?
2 edition, 2 ke 1.
Ustaz Zamri, 2 or 1?
Dua kan?
Where's it?
One.
Oh, for one edition? Yes. And that would be,
500 each edition.
can you go to the mic and give the
Yeah,
detail?
yes, ma'am. 500 for each. So we have 1,500 for 3 books.
Okay. Dia ada 3 buku, satu 2015, satu 2017 dan satu tu Arabic yang translation. Each is 500.
So the second year is whether this is the first year we are collaborating with iSHAR, and what is the plan going forward? Prof. Akram Ladin, diorang nak tangkap kita ni. Mana Prof? Prof. Akram Ladin? We have been collaborating many thought leadership with iSHAR, but not on a formal basis. This year, we are collaborating with iSHAR on this roundtable together with the International Sharia Scholars Forum, the 14th International Sharia Scholars Forum, which will be in Pullman, KLCC for 2 days, starting from Thursday and Friday. That would cover about 250 participants, of which 30% will be international participants. The collaboration with iSHAR is to make sure that while the scholars are in this roundtable, we are able to optimize, as we mentioned earlier, for the scholars to also impart with some of the resolutions and findings, as well as assist the practitioners towards coming up with a common ground. Going forward, whether we will be working with iSHAR and for how long, I think the short answer is yes. Are you from iSHAR? Thank you. Next question, please. Question for Sheikh Nizam Yaakubi.
It's very good. You don't have questions.
No, they are thinking. Tanya dengan Syekh Nizam ni. He came all the way. Far away.
Okey, terima kasih Datuk atas pencerahan. Saya Solah daripada TV3 nak tanya, ada tak lepas ni plan nak collaborate dengan lain-lain?
Dengan lain-lain institution.
What is the question?
The question is on me. The question is, as we progress forward, is there going to be further collaboration between Bank Rakyat and other institutions? The short answer is yes. If you actually look into our 5-year master plan, the BR25, we have 5 verticals. One of the vertical is focusing on collaboration and partnership. From standpoint of Sharia, we are looking at a Sharia blueprint, Sharia leadership blueprint. In that Sharia leadership blueprint, quite an amount of the initiative is a leadership through collaboration and a leadership through partnership. This collaboration and partnership is not just in Malaysia, but it is also on an international basis. What is prominent in our collaboration and partnership is collaboration and partnership with the universities. We as we aspire to introduce sustainability finance vision, we want to do quite an amount of applied research, and that applied research, we need to work very closely on a collaborative basis with universities, and that universities need not have to be local universities, but also international universities. Does that answer your question?
Sorry again about the books. Last question. Are you planning to sell the books? or it's just being distributed to the universities and the Islamic institutions only?
We are a very generous bank, and we want to be leader in sustainability finance. We have a vision on it. But to exactly answer your question, I'll get Ustaz Zamri to answer her in Arabic.
سنوزع مجانا. We will distribute FOC.
So a clap to Bank Rakyat for having a very... It's actually a genuine effort in making sure that we not just share, we make sure that what is being resolved and recommended is also scalable. Do you want to add anything at all for the request?
Maybe about the distribution of the book gratis. Maybe it is also advisable to have an edition which will be sold for, I mean, the cost price or something like that, because many people complain that books which are distributed, they don't get hold of it through bookstores and these things. So also, of course, today you can make PDF copies of it available through the internet and other means, electronic means. So because the request for such research and such fatwa and such book is so tremendous that a single bank is very difficult for them to cover all over the world, everywhere, every place, every university, every college, every Sharia, you know, fatwa board and etc. So it is advisable to make also some copies available and in a new edition for to be sold at a reasonable price, and also to make it electronically available.
Thank you, Shanizam. It's a brilliant idea. We will adopt that.
We now have room for just one more question. No more questions? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's ceremony. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all attendees who have made this year's iSHAR a success and hope we shall meet again in years to come. We now invite guests and members of the media for brunch that is already served in Garden Ballroom at level 1, while the scholars may resume the roundtable discussion. On behalf of Bank Rakyat, we wish you a pleasant day and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.